Okay, well, this is why even having an English degree won't get you an A star on the poetry comparison question. So it's not how good you are at English that's going to get you the A star mark. It's how well you follow what the examiner wants in the mark scheme. So I'm just flicking through the essay here so you can see how long it is. I wrote this in half an hour to mimic the exam conditions that my students were doing. In fact, I wrote while they wrote. But when I came to mark it, I found that the A-star grade wasn't available. And this is why the stuff in grey here, I had neglected to write about the structure of the poem. Previously, you've been able to get an A-star by writing about the language, the form, or the structure. But now, the exam board requires you to do all three. So here, to drum home his message, he fills the first two stanzas with repetition. When you talk about repetition, that's the structure of the essay, of the poem, especially if you explain why, so that we are clear that the powerful cause damage in every person. So I dealt with the structure of one poem, and then in my contrasting paragraph, I had to deal with the structure of the other poem, also at the end of the paragraph, so that the structure of my paragraphs mirror each other. Tennyson uses repetition also in triplets. Tennyson's use of repetition also in triplets. So the fact that the repetition occurs in patterns of three in triplets is also an aspect of structure. Is more pronounced, so I'm comparing back again, and more like a drum beat with the chorus of cannon. These emphasize the sheer number of cannon shots, so I'm explaining why that structure is there, the power of war, and the astonishing bravery of the Light Brigade. So you must write about structure. You must relate the structure to the meaning of the poem, say why it's there. And the top exam tactic, which I'd forgotten, which I won't now, is put the structure point in early, and then you know you won't forget it. So let's double check that against the mark scheme. So we're looking at the AQA paper 2, and you'll see what happens here. There will be a fine-grained and insightful analysis of language and form and structure. So clearly you must put a reference to structure in from both poems in order to get into level 6. Now if we pop down to level 5, you'll see the difference. There will be a detailed examination of the effects of language and or structure and or form. So like I did, if you forget that structural point, you're capped at level 5, which is possibly an A, we don't know, but it's definitely not going to be an A star. So top tip, write about the structure, do it early. So if you'd like more revision videos, don't forget to subscribe.